You see, this is going to be some great pictures of him working that wheel back and forth all night long.
I just think it's funny. 2 years ago, Joey was in the booth for this race. And Michael really tried to sell him on, you can learn so much up here about the Cup race that you're getting ready to run. And then last year he got in this race and he's doing it again. He didn't like the booth as much as he likes racing. What's going on here?
Left rear tires.
And there's some damage there. I guess that we saw a lot of flat tires in the qualifying races today. I don't really understand exactly what's going on.
Remember, first time for radials here on the dirt for these trucks.
And the tires are maybe a little wider. That could have something to do with it. So it's a tough break for Ingram.
Zane Smith takes the outside lane to his left. Ty Majeski. Here we go. 150 laps on the dirt at Bristol.
3 wide, first turn. That's Bristol dirt, isn't it, baby? Look at Haley Deegan in that 13 truck.
How about Majeski grabs the lead from Zane Smith?
A parade of Fords leading the way here at Bristol early.
3 of them from ThorSport. Majeski on point, and there's Zane Smith in second, but 3 wide for that runner-up spot now.
And all those grooves will work. Those 3 trucks are maintaining speed from all 3 lines.
And look back in 5th. That's been the feel-good story this weekend. Texas driver Caden Honeycutt missed the race in his home state last week. Now look at him up in the top 5 here on the Bristol dirt.
Here's Logano, came to play, didn't he?
Listen to that throttle. Listen to him work that throttle.
Clear by 2, clear by 3. Everyone on the bottom right now.
If you recognize that sound of his spotter, that's Ryan Blaney up on top of the roof spotting for Joey Logano.
Wonder if Blaney looked at the forecast before he decided to go up on the roof for this race.
I hope he had an extra layer of clothing in the motorhome, you know?
Those spotters are going to be wrapped up there.
All good. Clear by 3. He's just wrapping the bottom a little bit more on exit.
Now you see, that's a driver who knows what he wants to hear from his spotter. These spotters are so in tune with their drivers. I think this is a perfect role for Ryan tonight. Oh, a little damage.
Those white squares, that's about, what, about a foot tall, Michael? They're trying to keep these trucks up on the racetrack.
13, Haley Deegan. 38, Zane Smith. The 04, we've talked about him, Caden Honeycutt.
Getting it done. Haley with a nice run off the corner there to keep that 3rd position. Honeycutt says, let's see what it's like up top.
We saw Honeycutt making some nice moves in his heat race from the top. Now he's going to jump underneath Zane Smith.
Nice drive for the 19-year-old. Aledo, Texas. He has the best finish of 9th at Phoenix, but I'm telling you, his best starts tonight, 3rd. We'll see how he does.
After that heat race, he's got to be full of confidence. And when you look who he's racing around at the front of the field, that'll give him some confidence as well.
How cool is that for a teenager? Racing with the champion, getting it done here in Bristol. Yeah, those you talked about it, Phil. Those white squares in the corner, they're speed bumps. And that keeps the trucks from cutting the corners. And that's where the drivers would go if it was faster. So NASCAR decided we got to keep you up on the road. Oh,
Trouble
no.
early.
Mason Massey is the first one I saw spinning, but there's the 99 Ben Rhodes.
Last year's winner.
Stephen Parsons with a lot of damage. I think his night is done on that 20 truck.
Yeah, you see the right rear tire looks like it's flat, and that rear end may be askew.
Yeah, Taylor Gray's got fluid everywhere, and it's pretty beat up as well. The 33.
Mason Massey.
Mason Massey. Coming off a career best finish, 11th last week.
Tyler Carpenter also.
Tyler in that 41 truck with some pretty significant damage. Looks like just sheet metal, but that's unfortunate for Stefan. First laps on a dirt race were earlier today in the qualifying races, and unfortunately didn't get to make but about 10 tonight.
Yeah, did a great job in the heat race, finished 4th and qualified his way into the field.
See if we can see where this all goes wrong. The first truck I saw around was the 33 of Massey.
Dean Thompson, the 5, following him. Mason's going to jump to the high side. He's actually going to go around.
Look at Ben, lock him down, lock him down.
Trying to get stopped. There's Hocevar going by on the inside.
And you can see Gray and Parsons both suffered the same fate.
Committed to the bottom, and because Ben was in the middle of the racetrack, there really wasn't any room.
Carpenter tried to drive through, just not a big enough hole. And mark this point in the race for both the 99 of Ben Rhodes and the 42 of Carson Hocevar. Close calls. If they can come back later, their ability to avoid a big problem here will be huge.
Very little damage to Ben Rhodes' truck.
And look at Carpenter. so close to making his way through and just ripped off that left front fender. You can't just change directions on dirt. I mean, it's hard to do it on asphalt at times, but you can't just whip it the other way. It just doesn't grip like that. It doesn't work that way.
That's like Taylor Gray and Stephen Parsons had committed to the bottom. They were already in the corner as hard as they could get in the corner, and the truck's in their way.
Early caution at Bristol. We're 10 laps in. Joey Logano leading Majeski, Deegan, Zane Smith, and Honeycutt. Early caution, 13 laps complete. Stage 1 for the Craftsman Truck Series on the dirt at Bristol.
Yeah, we've got some great views here tonight. We're going to ride along with Daniel Dye with his Race to Stop Suicide onboard camera. There you see the young man out of DeLand, Florida, chunking up some dirt. Got a lot of energy, does Daniel Dye. A lot of fun to see these young racers get to the Truck Series and just enjoy what they get to do. It's a blessing to get to race. I love every lap I ever got to make, unless my car was tore up. Those were kind of challenging. Mostly.
Daniel's new to the Truck Series this year. I ran the Arca Menard Series, finished second in points last year.
There's Joey hanging 10.
He's led 12 laps tonight.
Pretty much everyone making moves on the bottom. No one's really ventured up. Yeah, everyone going forward's on the bottom. Really, nobody's been moving up too much yet.
When we think of the track evolution we've seen here tonight, starting the heat races at 4:30 local, then there was Cup qualifying right after, hearing from Joey Logano and Ty Majeski that they're hitting the ground hard in the truck, more so than we saw in the heat race. Josh?
With Taylor Gray, night ends prematurely, unfortunately. What did you see there?
Yeah, I mean, it's the product we get when we come to a perfectly good concrete track, put dirt on it. I mean, I get it's fun for the fans and good for the sport sometimes, but you know, just I feel like a pretty good night ended early. I feel like our truck was handling pretty good. We had to go to the rear for changing a left rear tire after the heat race, and I feel like it was going pretty decent. Picked up quite a few spots there pretty early, and you know, just kind of managing my time. And racetrack got blocked in front of us. Couldn't really go anywhere. I have to commit to the bottom. So, you know, I can't thank everybody enough from Toyota and JBL and everyone at Tricon enough for building really fast race trucks. Just got to go next week to Martinsville and probably get beat up a little more.
frustrating end to the night for Taylor Gray.
We talked about Joey Logano's spotter, Ryan Blaney. Let's see if we can talk to Ryan. Hey, Ryan Blaney, Phil Parsons and boys up in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
I do.
How's that? I see you bouncing around from leg to leg to try to keep warm, but how's that view up there?
The view's nice. A little cold for my taste, but hey, my driver went from fourth to the lead, so props to him and making my job easy. So it's going well.
Hey, Blaney, it's Waltrip. How much credit are you going to take for those moves he was making?
0. It's all him. Oh, come on.
Yeah, oh, by the way, Joey could hear what we were talking to Blaney about, too.
Now, you know, it's funny in this situation. If you look at Blaney, to his left, our right, is Coleman Presley, who normally spots for Logano. He's spotting for Tanner Gray tonight. He told me if Tanner has any kind of an issue, I might breeze over and help Blaney with Logano. I think Logano is going to be around for the long haul.
Those boys are doing their best to stay warm up there, aren't they?
That's exactly right. You could tell it's a brisk, cool night. 46 degrees. Check this out. Is that technology or what? That's the Choose drone. We used to have the Choose zone. Now we're Choose drone. And that's where the drivers have to make their decision inside or out. I would think the leader, maybe Phil, will take the outside, but then probably everyone else just sort of fall in line. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't think you want to give up a full row to get inside or outside.
That's
Logano,
pretty cool, isn't it?
I like this.
It is cool.
Okay. I'm sure NASCAR is making this, you know, an inexact science. Just give me what you're doing right there about the drone as you see everybody splitting it. Comes Daniel Dye, 43.
Tyler Ankrum had a flat tire on the pace lap in that 16 truck. He's still on the lead lap, though.
Yeah, that was a close one for him. That's just a cool looking view, isn't it?
It is.
So used to running down to those high bank concrete corners and just see that shiny dirt. Makes me want to be out there in a truck.
Logano takes the outside lane. I feel like we should listen in on the restart, see how Blaney does on the spotter stand.
Yeah, let's do that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Look, sounds like Blaney.
13-19, behind you, 38-04. Starts on you.
Starts on you. That's Blaney saying, take it over, big guy.
Almost sounds like he's reading from a script, doesn't it? It's like I got my cheat notes.
He has the lingo down, doesn't he?
All right, early caution. Stage 1 will be halfway home when we return to the green flag. Here's the Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano show.
To their door, quarter, clear. Clear by 1.
This is when the spotter usually lays out for quite a bit.
Clear by 3, 4, single 5 behind you.
Drive away from the field like that.
Well, they've moved that groove lower and lower and lower, haven't they?
Yeah, and you can really see Logano wrapping the bottom and making it work. That's probably something Blaney will tell him. He's wrapping the bottom better than the rest, and that's why he's able to drive away. Listen to him work that throttle. You can't just slam the gas down. You got to really keep those tires up under you. Caden Honeycutt up to third in that 04 truck.
Haley Deegan took a look at the inside of Zane Smith. Couldn't quite make it work. Now here comes Crafton, her teammate on the outside.
Matt Crafton looks good early in the 88.
I like that he has options. He went up top and made some ground. Everybody else was wrapping the bottom. He decided to take the middle, and he's making it look good.
Started to 8th, working on 5th.
Great battle.
3 wide behind him. Christian Eckes in the 19. He's got company from the 51. That's William Byron driving tonight for Kyle Busch Motorsports. And Grant Enfinger, really good for GMS right there in the 23.
Yeah, we were talking about William before the show. He didn't have a great heat race. Not really fast, but he seems to got it figured out now.
Yeah, Danny Stockman makes some changes to that 51 truck. I'm sorry, Danny Stockman is Nick Sanchez crew chief.
I thought, ironically enough, Byron looked better in his Cup heat race than he did his truck heat race. We anticipated he would dominate, but as you guys said, not where he wanted to be. They've made some adjustments, and the 51 making an early splash.
Yeah, Brian Patty's moved over there from the Cup Series to crew chief that 51 truck. Already went to victory lane this year with Kyle.
Haley's down on the bottom, losing some ground. She decides she'll move up to the middle. She saw what William was able to do.
Second caution of the night. Chris Wright is there. Tyler Ankrum, who we saw on pit road earlier.
Timmy Hill.
Timmy's going to be able to drive away.
Get it back to us here.
A lot of damage to Ankrum's truck.
Carnage.
Tyler Carpenter also involved in the 41 truck. That looks to be terminal, I think, for Tyler Ankrum there.
Yeah.
Probably busted the radiator, I'm guessing.
You can see the fluid on the inside of the track that was trailing him.
I just feel like it's been a tough day for him across the board, going back to the heat race, talking about Tyler Ankrum.
Oh, and Ankrum just lost it. And look, there just isn't any way to get out of that situation. And look at our onboard race reporter, Daniel Dye.
He turned in a per diem invoice after last week, didn't he?
And you know what? We liked it so much, we said, let's go for it again, Daniel.
Everything happened at Texas last week. It was right in front of Daniel Dye.
Going to be right around 10 laps to go when we get the restart here in stage one. Joey Logano still out front on the dirt at Bristol. Next weekend, real football for real fans is back. The 2023 USFL season opening kickoff weekend starts the new campaign April 15th on Fox.
USFL, that's some fun football. Love watching it.
10 laps to go, stage one. Stuart Friesen, 13th.
Yeah, nobody knows any more about dirt than Stuart Friesen.
He's my pick to win this race. Josh, I think Stuart Friesen wins this race. What's he saying on the radio? Anything?
Yeah, here's the thing. Before the race, Stuart Friesen was really happy with that truck. Won his heat, was very strong. Felt it was night and day from what he had last year. But he just came over the radio and said, hey, this motor is terrible. He said even when he's wide open, he can't keep up. And as you see, he started 5th. He's dropped back to 13th. So he needs some help, Amanda.
After the wreck we saw with Ben Rhodes earlier, he was down in the 32nd spot, now up into 24. Told his team the truck feels fine, just can't get through traffic to see what he's really got under that hood.
After that report from Josh, I think I'm going to not pick Stuart Friesen to win this race. His motor's heel, he says. Good looking 99 truck there for Ben Rhodes. I think it's got some speed to it too. Like I said, dropping to the back after that spin, picking up spots.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a contender before this night's over.
1 to go this time by, so we'll go green flag racing and sprint to the end of the first stage. So much action, man. This is so fun to watch.
Quite the ThorSport theme at the front. 66-98 front row. Hailie Deegan back there in 7th. Matt Crafton in between. Going to restart inside of row number 2.
How about 6 Fords in the top 7 positions right now? William Byron in 5th, the only non-Ford up there.
Yeah, talk about ThorSport. Zane Smith up there as well. 7 to go, stage 1. Logano not afraid to get on the gas when they put the green flag in the air.
Well, he got a great jump. So Hailie Deegan trying to go through the middle. That's Hailie in the 13th truck. She's still in the middle of 3 wide. Grant Enfinger, the 23 inside. Now they're 2 wide.
That's Eckes behind her, and just behind them, the 22, the red 22, Chase Briscoe surfacing inside the top 10.
Yeah, you got to figure that's another truck that's going to be up there battling for the lead. That's a Ford before it's over. Look at this move by Crafton, strong on the bottom.
Nice run up off the corner for William Byron in the 51.
This is the battle for 3rd. Honeycutt is there in the 04. Byron looking to the outside.
Williams going to have the momentum from the high side.
He'll be good and clear.
Clear.
Tab Boyd on the spotter stand for William Byron. Reunited. Boyd used to work with him in the Cup Series, working with him tonight in the Craftsman Truck Series. Couple of laps to go. There'll be 2 to go next time around.
Grant Enfinger making some nice moves, getting around Zane Smith and trying to work his way past Hailie Deegan.
Briscoe trying to do the crossover on Christian Eckes. That's Briscoe in the 22, Eckes in the 19.
There's Parker Kligerman in the 75 coming to the party.
Everybody trying to get what they can before the green and white checkered flag goes in the air, ending the opening stage. You talk about Kligerman. There is Friesen. Going to be 1 to go this time around. Logano leading Majeski as we close on the end of our opening stage at Bristol.
Logano just jumps out to such a big lead on the restart, and then Majeski's able to reel him in, but just too big of a deficit to overcome.
Joey Logano started on the pole last year, finished 6th. He wins the opening stage in 2023. It's the Bristol Dirt Race for the Craftsman Truck Series.
Is that Hocevar really smoking right there?
It is, yes. You know, we saw him lose some track position early. You get deep, and that's when you open the door for something to go wrong. For Joey Logano, first time he's won a stage in his Truck Series career. William Byron got all the way back up there to 3rd.
We fully expect now all these trucks to come down pit road at the end of this stage when pit road is open.
Just at the end of that stage, the 9 truck Kobe Howard had an issue, had a flat tire.
Pit stops when we come back. Logano, your winner, opening stage at Bristol. Stage 1 complete. It's the Craftsman Truck Series racing on the dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway with Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons. I'm Adam Alexander. Joey Logano wins the stage. Obviously no points there. Same for William Byron in third. Good day for Ty Majeski going. He gets 9 points in Stage 1. Caden Honeycutt delivering with 7. And you saw on down the line some of the other drivers that had good outings in the opening stage. Crafton, Deegan, Infinger, and our reigning champ Zane Smith.
So everybody's pretty much just coming to pit road, but you see a couple of trucks staying on the racetrack, led by Matt DiBenedetto in the 25 truck.
And Brett Holmes right behind Matt in the 32.
When the stage ends, we thought, Phil, and you touched on it in the race strategy, we thought these guys might all come to pit road at the end of this stage, get some tires, freshen up their truck, and then maybe not pit at the next stage. But Matty D, with no track position, he decided to throw a bit of a curveball at them.
And it gives them an option. Obviously, they can, if they need an adjustment or whatever, they can come in. These guys at pit now, they can come into the end of that second stage, but it opens up the strategy for them to stay out if they so choose to.
There's a star of this show, and there's a guy that struggled a bit. Doesn't like his engine. Stuart Friesen with that sponsor from Ferris Mowers. I thought when I beat him on the mower race, you know, the other night, he would come here and dominate this race just to make a statement.
You thought he'd be driving angry? Is that what you thought after you beat him?
You called it.
He was a little upset, I think, when you beat him.
I just love the emotion that you showed after that big win, Michael. I know it meant a lot to you.
You know, it might be the last one I ever get at him.
Pit stop's underway, Amanda.
You guys were talking about the performance of the Fords tonight. Every ThorSport Ford qualified in the top 10 kicking off this heat rate. You see the 66 on the side there of Joey Logano. He's reporting to his team that the truck is bouncing so bad. If you guys could fix that for me, that would be great. Another one of the ThorSport Fords, a 98 of Ty Majeski. You might have seen at the end of stage 1, all the leading trucks tended to that high lane. He said that the lower lane is just too hard and too slick. Josh?
Well, it's crazy the difference a week can make for Carson Hocevar. Got his first career win last week in the 42 down in Texas. This week, not happy with that truck right now, having a power steering issue as they see them under the hood, trying to diagnose what's wrong and how they can fix it right now. As far as Caden Honeycutt, having a great day so far. He was good in the heat races, strong in this as well. Finished 4th in stage number 1, just dealing with some overheating issues right now, guys.
Yeah, we saw that smoke out of Carson Hocevar's truck right at the caution flag at the end of the stage, and obviously power steering is the issue for him.
And they can fix that, get a line tightened up or if something broke, but you can see the crew member there working on it.
Everything is so hot down there too. It sounds easy to change a line or something like power steering line or something like that. You can see the smoke now, obviously the fluid getting on the headers.
Just been a struggle. And now you have insult to injury there with the problem under the hood.
He had such a good truck here last year, led a bunch of this race. Hopefully if they can get that power steering issue fixed, then he can make his way back towards the front.
Stage 1 is complete. Joey Logano gets the win. We remind you, last 2 years here at Bristol on the dirt, the winner of stage 1 also won stage 2 and went on to win the race.
But what I see here is although it's funny,
NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series about ready to go. Stage number 2. Pit stops are complete. How about that opening stage for Caden Honeycutt? We've been talking about him all day long, and he deserves every bit of it.
Yeah, let's see if we can chat with him. Hey, Caden Honeycutt, Phil Parsons and the boys in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do. Hello, Fox Nation.
Hello there, buddy. We were really impressed with the job you did in the heat race, and man, you're carrying it over here to the main event. That truck looks awesome. Doing a great job, bud. How is it?
And I'll tell you, being able to race with these guys, it's just a level of confidence that I needed very badly. It's just, I don't know, there's something different about being able to run up front, and I don't know what it is, but hopefully we got something good for the end.
Caden, it's Waltrip with these guys. I've just been impressed with you all year long. You do a great job, and I'm glad that everybody in Fox Nation, as you called them, gets to see you shine your talent.
Well, Michael, I've been a fan for you a long time, and, you know, I've dreamed of being able to talk to you guys as another level of greatness, so still got a long way to go. Still got guys to race and guys to go up there and fight for the win and see if I can get a playoff spot, maybe run full time for the rest of the year, so we'll see what we can do.
All right, buddy, we'll be watching. Great job.
Appreciate it, guys. Have fans and tune in. It's about to get crazy, that's for sure.
Hey, we have 2 in-race reporters. We got Daniel Dye, who brings us the pictures, and Caden gives the stories.
He should be in a promo department. Hello, Fox Nation. Josh, what's up?
Yeah, just an update on the 42. They came in with those power steering issues, and they just figured out during that last stop that the high power line was busted. They got it all fixed up, and they said they should be good to go.
All right, he's got a long way to go to get back to the front. We'll keep an eye on that 42. Let's go back to last week. Dramatic finish at Texas. Carson Hocevar, first career win.
Yeah, Nick Sanchez had dominated that race, but unfortunately got turned around there at the very end. Carson was in the right place at the right time, had a great truck all day, and finally got that win in his owner Al Neese's home state.
Yeah, that's right. So happy for Carson and Al Neese. They've put so much effort in, and he's been able to deliver behind the wheel. 4 second-place finishes before that big win, and so fun spending some time up at the Al Neese Motorsport shops and getting to celebrate the win with Hocevar and his guys.
I saw Al down in the garage area this morning, and I said, hey, congratulations. He said, well, I didn't do anything. It was all the boys that said, believe me, you had everything to do with it. Wasn't for you, they wouldn't be here.
Worldwide Express helping to buy some tires and sponsorship. Got to have those sponsors and a great owner like Al Neese to make it all work.
Amanda?
One of those runner-ups for Carson Hocevar was last year here. You'll remember Ben Rhodes stole the win from him. I reminded Ben of that today in the heartbreak that Carson faced, and he said, I like breaking hearts around here. Well, Ben Rhodes has found himself all the way up to 18th after being 32nd after that wreck in stage 1.
There you see the choose drone flying over the track, and the drivers will choose inside, outside.
We had 3 trucks, I believe, stay out, led by Matt DiBenedetto, Red Holmes, and I believe maybe Tanner Gray in the 15 all stayed out.
I like staying out right now. I mean, we saw a lot of even trucks. The parity, as we spoke of earlier, is there. If you can gain that track position, it might give you the chance just to stay there.
Here's the other thought. You know, halfway makes this race official. That's lap 75. We know that there's been some precipitation in and around Bristol, East Tennessee. So you stay out here, you got the track position, maybe you get some rains and this race becomes official and opens the door to a win for one of those drivers.
Without a doubt, you can go at least 120, 30 laps here anyway, so it's a long time before those trucks would have to come down pit road.
You know, this is a dirt expert, Jonathan Davenport. He knows what he's looking for. What's he want to see here, Phil?
I think he wants to see how his tire is wearing. More than likely, I don't know if that would be, see if it's marked there, if we can tell whether that's a left side or a right side, but he wants to see how the wear is. And you see those that's a block pattern that Goodyear brings here.
Well, I just think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, he probably knows more about dirt than anybody on that pit crew because he lives that life.
He's currently scored 21st. See if he can make his way through this field.
Caden Honeycutt said it's about to get good. I'm sure our in-race reporter knows what he's talking about. Gray to Benedetto on the front row.
Look at that move by Logano. We talked about how strong he is on these restarts. Already to the outside.
Honeycutt going with him.
That's a great plan. Brett Holmes hanging well.
Yeah, top three trucks, as we talked about, stayed out. They were solid on the restart. Matty D on point.
Talked to a lot of the crew chiefs. They said last year the tires really didn't fall off much. But again, such a different tire, polar opposite tire here with a radial versus a bi-splay. They really didn't know how much they would fall off here. Looks like right now Matty D's saying these tires are pretty good.
Yeah.
Seeing him out front here takes me back to the Cup race. Was it like 2016 when he nearly won here driving for Levine? That was a magical night.
Look at this battle inside the top 10. They're 3 wide. Haley Deegan hanging in there with Crafton. And then this battle up front. Give Holmes the second spot in that 32 truck.
Yeah, Joey hasn't been able to dispatch with any of the 3 trucks that stayed out. Trying to work his way underneath Tanner Gray. He had about a half a truck width that time.
And he fit a hole in there. Yeah. Now he's going to run into him.
Well, you know who's spotting for Tanner Gray. It's Coleman Presley, who is Joey's spotter tomorrow. 3 wide, and there's a spinner, Christian Eckes in the 19.
Oh, fortunately everybody made their way around him. There's the caution.
Yep. Took a minute, but we finally get our 4th caution of the night.
Left rear tire down on Eckes' truck. We have seen a ton of left rear tires go down.
I think it could be just the tires a little bit wider, and with all the bounce and the way the truck moves around in this Tennessee clay.
Or if somebody gets into your left
somebody
rear,
runs into you.
That might have something to do with it as well.
Both of them will do it, and that's what happened that time. Ben Rhodes just scraped the side of this 19 and blew his tire out.
Rhodes from 18th to 16th on the restart.
Nice job by Jonathan Davenport, just squeezing around the outside.
And there, our in-race reporter Daniel Dye drove around the outside of Eckes when he turned around.
Daniel Dye is working for Fox Nation.
See, there's Daniel going
Look
by
how
right now.
Close that was. This is the move that started it all. And that's just short track racing. It doesn't matter if it's dirt or asphalt. You're going to have that kind of competition. Watch what Daniel Dye saw. This is going to be eye-opening, I guarantee you. Remember I said you couldn't change directions in a hurry? Whoa.
I love how he just eased into the brake because there's a lot of rear brake in these trucks. If you stomp on the brake, the rear wheels are going to slide, and his truck would have turned around. He really did a nice job of modulating that brake.
Fourth caution of the night for Christian Eckes, who went for a spin. Matt DiBenedetto leading at Bristol. Tomorrow, the NASCAR Cup Series is here on the dirt track at Bristol for some bumper-to-bumper mudslinging action, sponsored by Coyote Tractors. Coverage begins 5:30 on FS1, over to Fox at 6. You can also watch it on the Fox Sports app. Here's Josh Sims.
Let's get an update on 25 of Matty D, one of the drivers that elected to stay out, and right now he's led 10 laps. And this is a guy that called last year's race when he got his truck hooked to the 22, one of the lowest points of his career. Fast forward to this year, and he's leading laps right now. His only complaint is just a little too tight, so they told him to back up his entry, and he shouldn't lose any speed, should still be able to hold on to the front.
Yeah, Josh was talking. He literally got stuck to another truck, and they had to throw the caution. They stopped on the racetrack. It took them 8 laps to get them unhooked and just ruin their night.
Wasn't that Austin Wayne Self he got stuck to, the number 22 truck?
Yeah.
DiBenedetto goes outside. Door is open for Logano on the front row, down on the inside.
Man, I don't know if I'd have given Joey the bottom, but I'm sure Matty D is going to be determined to say that was the right thing to do. But Joey's just been so strong down there.
Zane Smith making it 3 wide.
I don't think Matt wanted to give him the outside either.
Look at Matt drive that thing. A lot of momentum off the turn, but Joey's just so good.
I think Joey beats him through this corner. Look at that little spurt of power up off the corner for Joey.
Almost looks like he's going to come to a stop and then boom, just explodes off the corner. Talking about Joey Logano.
Look at that 15 truck behind this 2-wide battle for third. That's Tanner Gray, and he is coming. Strong run for Tanner.
I thought Majeski was going to get Holmes, and then all of a sudden, as you said, here comes Gray. Honeycutt back in the picture.
You know, a lot of dirt experience for Brett Holmes over at the Talladega short track, racing against Red Farmer over there in those guys.
Racing Red Farmer on the red clay.
On the red clay in Alabama.
Tell you, this is just an entertaining match to watch, seeing everybody using different lines, and heck, we've seen a little bit of strategy, and even though we didn't know if we would or not. What will we see at the end of this first stage, at the next stage?
I think Adam may be right. They may have looked at the weather and said, hey, this race may not go the distance.
I'm going to tell you my opinion of the weather. It might get a sprinkle or two, but we're going to get all 150 laps.
Good.
Meteorologist Michael Waltrip working for Fox Nation tonight.
Oh, look at Jonathan Davenport. You see that 42? They were under the hood of that truck for Carson Hosevar. They got it all tuned up. And let's go 3 wide with Daniel Dye.
And Eckes is trying to make his way, and he makes contact with Daniel Dye. Moves him almost up into the wall.
Eckes said, it's time to go. I lost my track position. There might be some rain moving in. Turn up the wick in the 19.
Oh,
another left rear tire. Yeah, Nick Sanchez, another left rear tire. Hard for him. Trucks all the way around the racetrack. It's hard for him to get down.
We see the 2, 3, 4 wide battling and a lot of scrubbing going on. Maybe that got that truck.
Yeah, that's going to put him at least a couple laps down. Tough break for Nick Sanchez.
Was running 15th. Heartbreak last week in Texas. Dominated, won both stages. Involved in that big crash there at the white flag.
Majeski takes that second spot away, Adam.
Tires starting to pay off a little bit.
You wonder, but you also have to understand that Majeski and Logano have been the class of the field, and Matt used some strategy, and so he's still hanging right in there. I like the move a lot.
The plus minus of it is really good. The question becomes, you know, what is their strategy at the end of the stage? Because everybody else is already pitted.
That's what I was just thinking about. You know, this race is only 150 laps. That's only 75 miles. We know these trucks go about 90 miles on a mile and a half. I would think their fuel mileage would be pretty good on this dirt track. Could we go all the way without stopping?
Interesting. Look at Stewart starting to make some moves. Caden Honeycutt there in the middle of 3 wide. Got a caution
out. It's our 5th one of the night.
Tyler Carpenter around. You see the damage to the left front from earlier.
He's had a little bit of everything here tonight. Carpenter, the dirt racer out of Parkersburg, West Virginia.
Trying to get that truck refired.
I was over at the Nice shop to film that piece with Hosevar earlier this week, and Tyler was sitting in the truck, had a smile from ear to ear, getting ready to become racing with NASCAR here at Bristol.
Honeycutt, 10th right now.
No, if it's air pressure or they're hitting each other, but I've never seen so many blown tires in my life. Air pressure, man. It's air pressure because they're hitting those ruts and it's just destroying them. That's all it is. There's no B-lock on it, so there's nothing to protect it.
Well, we've seen the case of scrubbing have a tire go flat, but also so many tires that go flat with the low air pressures and the way they hit the ruts and bounce around, it just pulls the tire off the rim. Hey, there's the Swifter. Hey, he's got it going on, doesn't he? Hang 10 car wash, got him a Swifter in there.
He's going to have to take that truck to Hang 10 car wash when this race is over, no doubt.
Isn't it funny all the things you have to do as a race car driver that you never thought you'd do as a race car driver?
I never thought we'd be doing this, racing on the dirt at Bristol, but here we are.
There's those ruts I talked about. That'll bounce a tire off the wheel if you hit it wrong.
You know, the other thought is just adapting to change. And, you know, no practice yesterday for these teams. They were supposed to get almost 90 minutes. That was washed out. You got the 15 laps earlier today. Other than that, man, it's just been figure it out as you go along. And as we know, not only you get the 15 laps in the heat, but that track was totally different than what we're going to see here tonight, not to mention the changes this track will go through over the course of the event.
We caught a glimpse of the 24, Rajah Caruth, flat tire, obviously, as he made his way down pit road. There he is there.
Had a great run in his heat race.
Left front tire down on Rajah's truck.
So he can just change
just that
tire per NASCAR rules.
Yeah, NASCAR will allow a damaged tire or a flat tire to be changed without penalty.
The only time you can change all 4 tires, fuel the truck, is at the stage breaks.
That could do some damage to his undercarriage there with all that sparks and metal dragging the ground.
Sway bar arms and stuff down there.
You see this happening, and I talked to Rajah today, and I said, what do you need more of? Still looking for that first top 10. He said, luck. We just, fast trucks, wrong place, wrong time. Amanda?
You're taking a look at the 98 of Ty Majeski. This is just his 3rd ever dirt race, and you talk about adaptability. He said that's what he's doing every single one of these races. The truck tonight is feeling a little snug, and he's still saying to his team that the track is slick. But you go back to fall last year, Ty won here and said it was the honor of his life, as this was the first race he ever came to as a kid. And he said it was probably 2003, but he bought a t-shirt that said, "I'm short and fast, just like Bristol."
You hear the story on Ty Majeski. Now let's check out the radio of teammate Joey Logano.
I think I'm having an electrical issue here. Shutting off every now and again on me here.
That didn't sound like Joey, did it? Did y'all? Is that what y'all heard?
I couldn't tell. I see him adjusting the brake bias in the truck a little bit.
Halfway through our second stage, Joey Logano won the opening stage, came down pit road, got his service, restarted 4th because there were 3 trucks that stayed out, but was able to grab the top spot. He's led 53 of our 66 laps here tonight, and restarts alongside Matt DiBenedetto, who played strategy, led 11 laps early in our second stage. The only other driver to lead tonight is Ty Majeski, and he restarts 3rd. Amanda, talking about his win here last fall on the concrete, that began an unbelievable run of the last 10 races. You know, the last 5 last year, first 5 this year for Majeski. It's been a coming out party for the driver out of Wisconsin.
Sure has had a great start to the season, as you mentioned, this year. For sure, one of our championship contenders, no doubt.
See country music star Tim Duggar riding along with Majeski. See if he can take him to victory lane. We'll sing down there. Another rocket ship start for Joey Logano.
I think maybe the outside groove has a little bit of advantage maybe on the initial start, you think, Michael?
I think Joey Logano has an advantage on the initial get-go. He just pulls away and then stabilizes out front. See, Majeski's going to be able to get up by DiBenedetto as well.
Stuart Friesen's trying to get that top groove worked in. Look at him all the way to the top in that red 52 truck.
And you know, you said it, Phil, early. This track will change all night long, and there's a chance that top could be better now than the bottom, and Stewart's going to be the first one to figure it out. There's that 15 truck of Tanner Gray. Great job for him tonight.
Look at all the momentum that Friesen gets off the corner. Doesn't gain much through the middle. Obviously a longer way to go around the racetrack.
That right rear is about to kiss the wall.
Isn't that fun to watch? And by the way, I just got confirmation from producer Mark Smith that is Joey Logano saying he's got some engine issues.
Electrical issue he was talking about.
Yeah, that's interesting. He's got such a fast truck. We'll see if that comes back to bite him before it's over.
Reason's going to third right now.
Set.
You know, he's just driving so much harder right now because he's trying to go that longer distance, so he's using more gas, and he's making it work.
15 is Tanner Gray. Friesen to the outside. William Byron starting to get after it in the 51 by Matt DiBenedetto, and he will try to get up to fourth. Crossover on Gray.
Yeah, William was following Stuart Friesen, but then Gray blocked him, so he said, that's all right, I can do it on the bottom.
Back straightaway bottom.
6th caution of the night. Chris Wright is the problem on the back straightaway.
Couple problems for the 0-2 tonight.
Chris had an issue in the heat race as well.
Ooh, this could end his night. That right front wheel's all bent in. Chances are there's a lot of suspension damage. You can see the tire is towed in.
Look at all the damage to the wheel as well.
See if we can check out what happens from.
Certainly it's going to be Daniel Dye's onboard that we're going to get a view.
Oh, like he came up into the 12 a little. I mean, it's hard to tell, but there was some contact. Yep. It looked like from the 12.
We definitely saw the 12 move like he was run into.
12's his teammate.
Yeah, Chris was able to get that truck refired and head towards pit road.
You know, I'm looking at that scoring pylon. Some interesting names right around 10th. Chase Purdy in the 10th position, coming off a great run last week. Chase Briscoe is back there, and don't look now, Ben Rhodes back inside the top 15. Joey Logano, your leader at Bristol. Past halfway in Bristol, Tennessee for the Craftsman Truck Series. Going to be just over 10 laps to go in stage 2. When we get the restart, let's get a report on Stuart Friesen, third right now, Josh.
Yeah, and you remember early on in the race, Stuart Friesen was not happy with the way that motor was running. Well, they got him fixed up, and he's running third right now. Very happy with that truck. He asked the team about the tires, asked them how they look. They said there's really no wear on the tires. So he said, yeah, I don't want to have to come back in and get more tires. Track position is premium, Amanda.
Well, other people were taking notice of how Stewart is doing. Joey Logano was on the radio with this team wanting to know how Stewart ended that last little bit there, said what was his speed. They said he was in traffic but kind of matched you there at the bottom. And Joey said, thanks guys, I got it.
Got their eye on Stewart, and they better have. He's found another groove. Matching lap times as was reported to Joey Logano. I'd want to know what was going on with 52, wouldn't you, Phil?
Absolutely. And the front three trucks all took the outside that allowed William Byron to pull up to the inside of Logano for this restart.
He said, I'll take the front row, thank you very much.
I think he could take anywhere on the restarts. He's just that much better on the short run. I think that 66 truck can make either lane work.
Yeah.
Hey, it's been a while, and I know it was in a Cup car, but those two haven't always played nice on the front row, Byron Logano, you know?
Were you talking maybe about Darlington last year?
Yeah.
You're not trying to startle something, are you, Adam?
Wouldn't do it. I like
don't
them,
manufacture.
love them both.
Don't manufacture
But,
anything here,
you
Adam.
know,
You're just saying.
if I needed to infuse a little energy into the show, keep an eye on the 66 and the 50.
What if you got on this radio and called up Blaney and said, Blaney, I'd watch that guy on the inside of you. He remembers Darlington.
Yeah, they have a history.
The only way this could be better is if Coleman was spotting for the 51 instead of the 15. Then we'd really have something, wouldn't we?
I like the 15, too, there on the bottom in the second row. Gray's done an awesome job tonight.
Hey, we mentioned some rain, but this race is now official. We're past halfway. Going to be 11 to go, stage 2, as we hit the green flag.
Look at that launch that Logano gets again. 2-3 truck links. Look at Stewart on the outside.
He went right back to where he was making that ground out, but he's going to take the middle. No, he thinks he likes the top.
Tanner Gray not afraid. Matt DiBenedetto tried to shove it in there.
Remember, we talk about Tanner Gray all the time, the fact that he was a drag racer, pro stock champion. Well, he races a lot at Millbridge, too. He has a micro that he races at Millbridge. He's won over there before, so he gets a little bit of dirt experience.
Ben Rhodes hanging on in the 99.
Needed a little space and didn't get it. And look at Corey Heim. He's been fast all night. He's getting himself into the action. What did Caden Honeycutt say? It's going to get exciting, Fox Nation. And you can see 3 wide, nearly 4 wide a couple of times.
Here comes Kligerman, too, in that 75 truck. Top 5 here last year for Kligerman.
Carson Hosevar right behind Kligerman that you mentioned, Phil. After fixing his power steering, he's getting into contention. I'm having fun. Y'all having fun?
Mm-hmm.
How could you not?
It's just so entertaining.
Comes Ben Rhodes, too, trying to make his way back towards the top 10. I think Ben's being shown right now in the 11th spot.
Racing with Grant Enfinger, who in 7 truck starts on dirt has never finished outside the top 10. Veteran driver out of Alabama.
I just don't know about this lane that Friesen's trying to make work. I mean, he's given it his all, but it just seems like the shorter way around maybe is a little bit better.
He's trying to clean that top off. When everyone runs around the bottom, he gets all the marbles up there in the middle and the top of the racetrack. He's trying to keep that lane clean.
And he's making it work.
I wonder, too, if over the long haul, and we really haven't had a long run tonight, maybe he's putting a little knowledge in the bank for the final stage.
Adam, I love that thinking. He's a dirt racer. He knows what's going on that racetrack. He knows those marbles, the dirt's sliding up the hill. He wants to keep it fresh, and maybe it's an option for him later.
Logano leads. He's there's Parker Kligerman off the pace.
It's like right front tires down for Parker.
He's going to be able to get it back to pit road. We stay green.
Whoa, that's
looks like he broke
a rotor or something.
Broke a rotor or a hub or something like that. Doesn't look like the tire, really. Great battle here for second.
I mean, you got the reigning Cup champ leading. You got William Byron, who's won twice this year in a Cup car, and right in his hip pocket, Ty Majeski. How talented is this driver? Championship 4 a season ago, and he slides to second in front of Byron. Going to be 2 to go on the stage this time by.
You can see that gray spot right where the right side tires of these trucks, when they run the bottom, you see how dark it's getting there. That will get really slippery. Tony Stewart and Clint Boyer were telling me when you see that discoloration.
Stewart said not only will it get slippery, it can start to create tire wear. So you have to be careful of that. One more time around, stage 2. Joey Logano won the opening stage. 2 years ago, Martin Truex swept the stages, won the race. Last year, Ben Rhodes won stage 1, stage 2, went on to capture the checkered flag. The sweep tonight is going to go to the man that won the Cup title last year. Joey Logano wins our second stage. Majeski second, Byron third, Friesen finishes fourth. DiBenedetto, who's going to have to pit here, played strategy, was fifth. Tanner Gray, Matt Crafton, Zane Smith, Chase Briscoe, Brett Holmes, the top 10.
Will they roll the dice and maybe stay out and say maybe we have enough fuel?
But from a rules perspective, is it mandated
I think
that you have to
you have to
pit?
stop at least once. Yeah, so they will definitely have to stop.
That's 7 cautions tonight. Didn't get one for Parker Kligerman, who made the unscheduled stop as we wrapped up our second stage. Truck Series here on the dirt at Bristol. Ty Majeski didn't get a win, but boy, did he put some points on the board. A pair of second-place finishes, 18 points on top of what has already been, as we said, a great start to the year. Matt Crafton solid. Good effort for Stuart Friesen. Caden Honeycutt stole the show. 7 stage points for him. Zane Smith, a pair of wins this year. He was able to get 6 stage points in our first 2 stints of the race here tonight.
See a number of trucks coming down pit road, but I think more trucks are staying on the racetrack, it looks like.
Yeah, the first 10, 15 for sure, Phil. There you see.
Some of them had to pit because they stayed out at the end of stage 1, and so you knew you would have to come here. Others had already pitted, said we want the track position, and that was what we felt like was the winning strategy. Pit at the end of stage 1, stay out at the end of stage 2.
Yeah, but you know, Adam, this changes things up. We've seen Joey have the dominant truck. He's now not going to have the best tires on the track. Will that make a difference as this track begins to take all the rubber onto the road? Does it burn off the tire rubber sooner? We'll have to hang around and see.
The one thing he's got going for him is all that insurance behind him, the trucks that have stayed out with him, and that makes such a huge difference.
But we've seen 3 and 4 wide. You get on the right side of that, you can pick up some spots in a hurry.
Remember last year, Ben Rhodes restarted 13th at the end of the second stage, and he went on to win the race.
And 14 drivers have stayed out here at the end of stage 2. The signal has been given. Pit stops can begin. Let's go there now.
Let's start with the 25 of Matt DiBenedetto. The team told him the good news is you got some good stage points in that. The bad news is you got to come in and lose that track position. But the good thing for Matty D is having a pretty good run here tonight. He needs a little more help with that truck, so he's having to use the brakes a little bit too much. As far as Tanner Gray in the 15, a strong run for him. He's starting to struggle getting in on entry. They're going to tighten him up just a little bit to help him out, Amanda.
Joey Logano and Ty Majeski both decided to stay out. Both feel like that the truck is coming around to them as well as the track. There were a couple teams on pit road, including Matt Crafton, that wanted to make the decision based on what truck stayed out, and they elected to stay out as well. But when you think of staying out and standing up, those are the fans here in Bristol.
Logano, great tonight, wins both stages. Has led 78 of our 90 laps. Matt DiBenedetto, who stayed out at the end of stage 1, 11 laps out front. Ty Majeski has also led a lap. Michael, you'd look good behind the wheel of that thing.
I've been doing a lot of yard work lately, Adam. That thing caught my eye. What is that? And how's it work?
I'm not sure you could fit in there, actually, with those long legs. Final stage on the way.
I'll be right down there.
Yeah, what happened in Cole's Gap the other night was a win for everybody, NASCAR, dirt racing, because those drivers are here now. Yeah. Kyle Larson, Jonathan Davenport, they're here. And we're watching them race on the biggest stage in America, which is NASCAR. And let's go downstairs to Jose. Hey, thanks so much, guys. We're enjoying your banter up in the booth. We're hanging out with some friends here. Kanan, your friends just from Bristol here. What do you think of the dirt racing so far? It's been awesome, man. Everything I can want. Love it. So we were talking picks, and I was like, so who's your pick? Who do you think's going to pull out the victory here? Time Majeski. Oh, my time Majeski? 100%? All right, what about you? She just wants a good race. She's been enjoying it. What about you? I'm here for a good race, and I think number 24, my old basketball number. Ooh, the old basketball number. See, I like that. Picking a lucky number is a good thing. You know, Kenny, we were talking about you and John and David having a great show up there, and I asked Kenny, I said, you know Kenny Wallace, and what'd you say? I've met him a couple times. He's a great dude. He's a great dude, but can you do a Kenny Wallace impression, baby? I don't know. We'll try to do our best Kenny Wallace impression down here, but you guys are doing a great job up there. The fans are having fun, and we're almost ready to go back racing, so we're looking forward to a great finish. Thank you, Jose. We love you, Jose. You're a good man, and he's going to be part of the big show tomorrow, Johnny. Jose Castillo, he will be announcing the driver's course tomorrow, 2:30 at the front of this Bristol Motor Speedway. Jose is part of the NASCAR Race Day show.
And remember, the old Speed Channel slogan was "Be there."
That's right.
You better be there.
Yeah, I love Jose, and I got to give a shout out to Hannah. She's awesome.
She did a great job.
I see her all over America.
Hardest working woman in motorsports.
Hannah, I love you. You're on TV. When I turn on the TV, I see you on these dirt tracks.
We're about ready to go racing.
The night is young.
It's going to be 100% every lap.
It's been an eventful night at Bristol Motor Speedway with Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons. I'm Adam Alexander. Joey Logano leading this thing on the dirt at Thunder Valley. We're ready for the final stage. And one of the stars of the show has been Ty Majeski, second place at the end of stage 2.
Want to see if we can dial them up?
I think we should.
Let's do it. Hey, Ty Majeski, Phil Parsons, and the boys in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
Phil, how are you doing up there?
Good, man. Not as good as you. That thing really looks like it's on rails. And I want to know, are you wearing that T-shirt that said you were short and fast that you bought here 20 years ago?
Sure is amazing how life comes full circle, yeah. First NASCAR race when I was about 6 or 7 years old here. Stay in the red barn campground, never forget it. But no, this Soda Sense Ford F-150 is running really good tonight. Obviously, Joey's really tough. I feel like we have a little bit more of a long run truck, so if we could just get going here and hopefully have a long run, hopefully we can have something for him.
Hey, Ty, it's Michael. I got a shirt that says I'm tall and slow, but that's a whole nother story. Tell me exactly what you see from that 66 truck that you need to be able to do better to beat him.
He just fires off better, Mike. He just gets going and then can pull me 10 truck lengths in the first 2 or 3 laps, and then I start slowly, methodically reeling him back in. So just need a long run here, I think. Like I said, this Soda Sense, brand new sponsor from my hometown. ThorSport truck is quick tonight. Like I said, I just think we need a long run.
All right, buddy. Take Soda Sense and Tim Duggar there. He's on your deck lid. Take them to victory lane.
Hey, 10-4, thanks, guys. Have a good one up there.
Michael, you said you're tall and slow.
Yeah.
Logano's kind of tall, but he's not
fast.
slow.
He's fast.
He's a 2-time Cup champion. He's got it going on. And he's got it going on tonight. Just what we've said all night, Phil. He just jumps off the restarts faster than everybody, and that's exactly what Ty saw and agreed with. Now he's just got to figure out how to work his way back to him.
Yeah, he thinks if he can get a 30 or 40 lap run, maybe even a little bit more than that he might have something for him.
I wonder if Joey is pacing it, though. You know, I mean, maybe some false hope for the other competitors that he gets out there.
He's a pretty smart driver now.
Yeah, and just make sure that everything is where it needs to be.
Let's see if he's explaining something to the team right now. See if we can ease in there. Joey, it's the Fox boys. You copy?
I got you. What's happening?
We're just so impressed with the way you fire off on these restarts. Have you got more if you need it once you get 10, 15 laps on the tires?
We'll have to wait and see. A long enough run will probably tell that story, but the Hank 10 F150 is ripping pretty good, and we'll hope to keep her up here and keep some clean air on her.
How's your spotter doing?
He's doing great. He's he's a wealth of knowledge up there. You know, he's giving me some good info on what the competitors are doing, and keeping me calm as a seat. He's doing good.
Yeah, we got him on the screen right now. He looks really confident.
Oh, I'm sure he looks really cold.
And cold.
That's what I was going to say. Buy him some gloves, would you?
Yeah, we'll talk to you. Adam said buy him some gloves. Have a fun rest of your way. We won't bother you anymore.
All right, have fun up there.
You know, the one thing we haven't talked about, and not a lot anyway, because it hasn't been a factor with all the cautions, is Logano hasn't had to deal with lap traffic a lot tonight, you know, and that's something over the long haul that could be a factor here in the final stage.
I don't think any truck has been lapped tonight. They've had some trucks that have had trouble, flat tires, and their laps down, but I don't think we've seen any lapping go on the racetrack yet.
But that would mean that Logano's spotter, Ryan Blaney's got a little work to do, because so far he just jumps off the line, as Michael said, and drives away.
He talks to him for about 2 corners, and then he doesn't have to talk anymore.
I think Blaney's just chomping at the bit to work him through lap traffic. He wants him to get in some battles so he can really show his skills of what it would be like if Brian Blaney was a full-time spotter instead of a driver.
I think he'd stick with driving. I think he'd just as soon stick with driving.
I think he's got a few more years left in him.
Yeah. I wonder where Josh Williams is tonight. Josh is Blaney's spotter.
He spots for Zane Smith.
Oh, there you go. So yeah. I was hoping that he could be listening in, because that would be good education for him to say, all right, now you know. It's not as easy as you thought. Instead, he's trying to win with Zane Smith. Amanda?
Another guy leading his talents into spotting is none other than Kyle Larson. Rajah Caruth reached out to him ahead of this race, calling him the best dirt racer of all time, and wanted to see if he could help him out here tonight. When I talked to Rajah earlier, he showed me an entire YouTube playlist of videos of only Kyle Larson. So Kyle telling Rajah some insight tonight. Take a listen.
Just not have enough wheel spin when you get to the center.
So I'm spinning tires more and I can sustain it, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I just think you need a little more wheel spin the corner. Not too much, because it's easy to spin out, but enough to just stay turning.
What an absolutely special relationship. Michael, Phil, did you guys have mentors along the way as well?
Yeah. We both
had
did.
brothers.
We both had big brothers that meant the world to us. Ever since I've been on this earth, I wanted to be able to do what my big brother did, and that vision and that focus that he gave me, and I know it's a lot like you too, Phil, it's priceless.
Yeah, and Raja, you talked about the YouTube. He's a student of this sport. He really works hard at it. Has a lot of speed. I'm really looking for him to have some great runs in this 24 truck. Maybe even tonight. He stayed on the lead lap even with that flat tire.
Ready for the final stage. Logano up front with his teammate Ty Majeski. Watch Matt Crafton coming from row 2 with William Byron.
And look at Chase Briscoe up into the mix as well. And that red 22 truck right behind bright yellow Crafton 88.
I keep getting Friesen and Briscoe confused. The red 52, the red 22. And they're both racing right there together.
Majeski's going to be able to ease up in front of William Byron. William's going to try to cross him over to get the inside. And Ty said, no, sir, I'm on the bottom.
Look at Friesen still hanging it out up high. Chase Briscoe likes that look too. He's giving it a go.
Ben Rhodes has crept back into the conversation. There he is in that bright orange 99.
And Carson Hocevar.
3 wide. Finger in the 23, Hocevar in the blue and yellow 42.
Adam, they're getting ready to be 4 wide. I can feel it. They've been so close so many times.
Look at Chase Purdy in the 4 hanging around.
Is that a little moisture I'm seeing on our camera lens?
It looks like it. I thought when we had the onboard on the restart of Logano, looked like there was a little bit of moisture on the front of his roof.
That'll change the way these trucks handle. See a little dust, so we got a ways to go before that water is going to make much difference. But like I said, it'll transition into changing some things.
Chase Briscoe's trying that same line that Stewart was running earlier.
Is that driving by the feel of the truck? Feeling the wall with the right rear?
Right rear corner.
It's
looks like
sparks there.
This is good stuff.
Josh?
Hey guys, so remember Chase Briscoe was actually racing with the left middle finger that he broke when he was doing some dirt late model racing, and we got a wreck on the track, guys.
Caution number 8, giving praise to Chase Purdy. He's involved. 19 of Christian Eckes.
I think Zane was involved as well in the 38 truck.
Not a lot of damage on the 4 truck of Purdy. He's able to drive away. See some sheet metal damage on the bottom. Something's wrong with the right front of that truck. Looks like it hung in the ground.
Purdy was 9th, so he really was doing some positive things.
I think he'll live to race a few more laps. See what happens here with the 4 truck here on the outside.
Keep an eye on the 38 here of Zane.
Oh, Zane got in the corner a little bit better. Did Purdy have a problem on entry there? He let off pretty early.
I'm not sure. I think too early. Zane didn't think he was going to let off that early. And then you see Christian came in with nowhere to go. And he runs into Zane.
Look at Caden Cunningham. Wow, Caden barely got to the bottom.
DeBenedetto did a really nice job as well.
It's weird looking. He let off about the same. It looked like you saw the fire come out of the pipe, and they both let off about the same point of the track. But Zane didn't expect the 4 truck to slow that much, and he just got ate up on the right side by Eckes. I'd be surprised if it didn't mess up that suspension on that 38 truck. As you see the guys just barely slipping by on the bottom.
Yeah, Chase may have backed off a touch early, but it didn't look like it was very noticeable. But Christian came by with nowhere to go when Zane turned sideways right in front of him.
There you see Dean Thompson sliding through. Dean's remained in the top 20, doing a nice job.
So Daniel Dye will have another great look at that as well.
Sorry, like checked up way more than I thought on entry. Yeah, 10-4. I'm not sure why he did. There was nothing in front of him.
That was Josh Williams.
Yeah, that was Josh Williams,
talking about spotting for Zane. And, you know, that may have been one of the first times that Chase had run up high. He may have been running the bottom, so he may have been a little tentative getting in the corner up on the high side.
I thought I might have saw the left front tire lock up a little bit too. So maybe with the different entry of the corner, it just wasn't what he expected. And I agree. He checked up way more than did Zane expect.
Caution number 8, just over 50 laps remaining on the dirt at Bristol. Zane Smith involved. Chase Purdy going for a ride. Christian Eckes nowhere to go. Next Saturday, we have Major League Baseball on FS1 of the Fox Sports app. Let's do a little Brewers and Padres. Coverage begins 4 Eastern time. Baseball is back, and we've got it for you every weekend on the Fox family networks. Josh, you were so rudely interrupted. Finish your story on Chase Briscoe and the adversity he's facing tonight.
Yeah, well, that's right, Adam. And he broke his left middle finger in a dirt late model race the other day. He was really concerned coming into the night that he would feel it and he wouldn't be able to race his normal way at least. But he said after the heat races earlier and then the heat races on the Cup side, his hand felt all right and he felt good enough to race. He's going to have surgery later this week, but for now, everything is going as the plan other than having that brace on for Chase Briscoe.
There's Norm Benning having a pretty good night. 23rd on the lead lap.
And just, I imagine in that truck, he's smiling ear to ear, isn't he, Phil?
He's been smiling all day, especially when he made this feature event.
48 to go as we get the restart. Cup drivers up front. Logano, Byron. Joey gets the jump.
Joey got such a good jump that Majeski was able to clear William Byron as well.
Williams settles in the 3rd spot. Stewart's trying mightily to make that top side work, as is behind him Chase Briscoe.
I want a long run here. I want to find some rhythm in this race, and I want to see what that 98 has for the 66.
Let's just go green the rest of the way.
Let's do it.
Look at Jake Garcia down on the bottom.
Battling for a top 10 spot.
Jake's climbing into the top 10. Corey Heim with another good run.
Jake coming off a top 5 last week. You can't get more different than a mile and a half at Texas and on the dirt at Bristol. And this young driver is impressing.
Remember, Las Vegas was the first time he was ever on a mile and a half. He just turned 18.
Adam, I talked to him that morning of the race at Las Vegas, 18 years old. He said, I'm scared, Mike, a little bit. I said, well, you ought to be. I mean, it's going to be wild. You've never seen anything like this before. Now he's getting in his comfort zone and doing a great job.
Ben Rhodes battling for the 5th spot with Grant Enfinger. There's Stewart. Red truck on the high side. He's committed to that top.
Yeah, he's lost a couple of spots lately, but I want to I'm going to keep my eye on those two. They know a lot about dirt racing.
If you look at the scoring pylon, 4th to 7th right now is a nice snapshot of the truck series and those who deliver over and over when we race on dirt. Pretty impressive.
There's Haley Deegan in the middle. Oh, she saw that hole closing.
That was a good decision, I think, right there.
Look at Daniel Dye.
Bouncing off the wall.
He's been running that high lane, and that's the first time he's messed up, but it was just traffic that got him out of his rhythm. Tell you what I like about Danny. He's persistent. Like, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to get in some binds, but he will keep fighting until he gets a good finish. A lot of damage to that Ford truck in the last crash, but he's maintaining some decent speed.
He is being shown 1 lap down as Chase Purdy.
Haley Deegan gets into the outside wall as Caden Honeycutt goes by, as well as Dean Thompson in the 5.
Thompson working on a top 15 finish as we see the yellow flag again. Caution number 9.
Ford truck with a flat left rear.
So much for that go green to the checkered flag.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's get one this time. We can still pull for another one. See if anybody's learned anything on these multiple restarts that gives them the opportunity to compete with Joey Logano. Talked about Daniel's persistence. He's always there for us. Watch this.
The left rear tire already down for Chase Purdy. Daniel does a great job just negotiating his way by. Like Timmy Hill really made a nice move in that 56 truck to avoid Purdy.
Yeah, I can't emphasize enough how hard it is to make those abrupt moves when something goes wrong in front of you. The truck just doesn't change directions that easily.
We saw it with Eckes earlier, right?
The brakes don't work that great either.
You look at that top 10, and there are a handful of drivers there that have faced some kind of problem tonight, and undoubtedly would feel really good to leave here with a top 5, top 10 finish. But you kind of know that's going to happen when you come to a track like this.
All these caution flags. This time, the free pass goes to Tanner Carrick. He gets back on the lead lap.
Yeah.
He got off to a rough start early, but he's now on the lead lap.
I was watching some highlights of his running the USAC and doing the sprint car thing in preparation for tonight's race. It's just amazing to me to watch these dirt regulars that do it all the time, and how spectacular the moves are that they make, the situations they put themselves in. So it's good to see Carrick being rewarded here tonight, back on the lead lap and trying to make something out of what has been a bit of a challenging day. Well, I said off the top, it's short track season in NASCAR. Tonight racing on the dirt here at Bristol. Next Friday night, we're on a paperclip, Martinsville. This is a track that is just made for the Craftsman Truck Series.
Yeah, we're going to have full contact there as well, just like we have tonight.
Race day starts 6:30 Eastern time here on FS1.
Always a great show at Martinsville.
Nothing cooler to me than a night race at Martinsville. You see the brakes going, full contact racing that you guys spoke of. Sparks will fly, tempers will flare.
Might have a fight or two on pit road after the race.
And somebody's going to walk away with one of the best trophies in all of NASCAR.
But we did have a fight last spring in the Xfinity Series there, and all 3 series racing next weekend at Martinsville. Friday night reserved for the trucks, Saturday the Xfinity Series, and on Sunday all about NASCAR's top shelf. I would say Joey Logano will be a player then, and he's certainly been a player tonight, leading 100 of our 113 laps. That's a far cry from the show he put on here a handful of years ago in the Xfinity Series. You and I were doing the broadcast, Michael. He led them all that day.
That's exactly right. You know who ran second that day, Adam?
Daniel Suarez, right? Am I right?
And we were so impressed with Daniel because he was like 6 car lengths away from doing something really special, but he just couldn't ever quite get there. And it's like, how could it be like this?
We thought Daniel was going to get his first win that day. We thought he was going to get it at California when we had that crazy finish with Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon, and Daniel ran out of gas on the final lap. So some really good memories over the years.
All this is coming to the white flag, and there's people on fire crashing, and Adam's like, and the last lap is brought to you by Capital One.
Unbelievable.
The professional that he was, he was able to work that all in, and it was a quite chaotic last lap.
Well, your hair is on fire, right?
Inside of 40 to go.
All right, let's run to the end now.
I'm all for it. We've wrapped up our 9th caution. 2 of those for stage breaks, the other 7 for some kind of incident on track. And the front row here will be Logano and Byron. Majeski lines up behind Logano.
Can William do anything on this initial start?
We haven't seen it yet. I like Majeski lining up behind Logano, try to pace him.
Look at row 3, Infinger and Rhodes.
Big push from Matt Crafton.
Williams able to hang with Majeski. Majeski's going to have a little bit of momentum from the high side. He's going to grab that second spot with a little bit of a gap.
Slides in behind Logano. Byron has 3rd, side by side for 4th. Infinger, Crafton.
See, Crafton moved to the middle of the racetrack, middle to the high side. Stewart's up above that.
Stewart kind of peeking in the middle here. Chase Briscoe up high, scrubbing that right rear fender on the wall.
Stewart was able to make the pass on Ben Rhodes by going through the middle of the racetrack.
You see all this, Adam? This is why we're having all these cautions. These guys are at least 2 wide, sometimes 3 wide, and it's all the way from first to the back of the field. There's that much going on. Look at all that as you pan back and see all that action.
Zane Smith trying to fight his way back inside the top 20 right now.
Yeah, he's got it up to 19th.
Battle for 6th right here with Stuart Friesen, the 52, Ben Rhodes, the 99, Chase Briscoe, the 22, right behind them.
Adam, you said it. Those trucks look a lot alike, and they're deciding to race just alike, too. So it's kind of fun to see those 2 red trucks with white numbers up there running the same line. Everybody else ducked down to the bottom.
And they're no stranger to success when it comes to racing on the dirt. Briscoe from the high side to the low side, able to get around Ben Rhodes.
Corey Heim working that very bottom lane. Down in 1 and 3 and 4. Now he goes up to the middle.
Grant Enfinger's moved to the top of the racetrack. The yellow, number 23 as well, yellow and black.
Near contact there. Near contact there as Ben Rhodes slid up, getting close to Briscoe, and that time a little too aggressive as he connected with the wall.
Just kissed the right rear corner on that wall.
Oh, man. Tyler Carpenter.
Caution number 10.
Timmy Hill, obviously is slow. More than likely involved. Pretty hard hit to the inside wall there for Tyler Carpenter.
Look at that left front. It's gone.
Jonathan Davenport in the 7, being scored 18th right now. He'll race here tomorrow night, driving that 13 car for Team Collie.
Looked good in his qualifying race, too. Ran very competitively. That's a big hit here on the dirt at Bristol.
Safety team is there. Window net is still up.
You see Tyler in there moving around.
Look how far it shifted the front end over.
I'm telling you, Phil, that's as big a damage as I thought we could see here.
Looks like he's taking the helmet off. So.
AMR safety team has made their way to Tyler Carpenter.
Good to see Tyler moving around, taking his helmet off, handing it to the safety team. Trying to figure out if something's wrong. Maybe they're thinking maybe they have a broken track bar or something like that. That track bar is what keeps the rear end centered in the truck. There's Tyler getting out of the truck.
Oh, he's got a smile on his
face. I was going to say, that's good to see, huh?
That's what he looked like when I saw him the other day. I didn't figure that smile would still be there. But he's telling the crew that he's okay. See there, the blue truck. Just
overcooked it a little bit.
And he's gonna
make some contact with Timmy Hill.
He just raked his whole front end off.
And that slowed him down a little bit, and he still hit the inside wall hard.
Could see it ripped the radiator out of it as Hill went by. Let's go to Daniel Dye. He'll get us some good pictures of this.
Front row seat.
Look at there. Good job.
You know how many accidents Daniel's had to miss? All of them.
Tonight or like every week? We
Tonight,
see him
all
flipping through many different wrecks.
I feel like every time the caution comes out, we get word from our producer, Mark Smith. All right, let's go on board now with Daniel Dye. Because as you said, every time it happens, he's in the vicinity. I said I saw sparks, and there it is with Chase Briscoe.
Our Fox Nation reporter, Caden Honeycutt, has leveled out in the 13th position, just giving you an update.
We'll take a break, closing on 20 laps to go at Bristol. It is, in fact, the Joey Logano Show. Hope you're enjoying your Easter weekend.
Oh, it's the bunnies.
Yeah, well, after the picnic tomorrow, the family dinner, you make that trip to church, come home, settle in, get ready for the Cup cars tomorrow night.
And this is the perfect dirt track for these NASCAR vehicles. We've seen great racing. We haven't seen any mud anywhere. We've seen all kinds of different lanes. I think tomorrow night's going to be a special night for NASCAR here at Bristol.
Coverage starts here on FS1, 5:30 Eastern Time, over to Fox at 6. Tonight, it's all about the Craftsman Truck Series. Joey Logano flexing his muscles, leading 116 of our 128 laps, winning stage 1 and stage 2.
We have to take our hat off to the track crew here. What an amazing job they have done this race with this racetrack.
Yeah.
Michael, you mentioned it earlier. We had a significant amount of rain yesterday, and this racetrack is so racy right now.
Everything I wanted to see.
Joey Logano has been perfect on restarts. In fact, he's dominated that aspect of the race.
And he's drugged the second place truck on the outside with him because he goes so fast, they just go with him.
Half, clear by half. Take it.
Take it. That's what a driver likes to hear, isn't it?
Majeski got a little bit of an assist there, didn't he? A little shove in the tail end of Joey Logano, pushed him out front. Logano off of turn 4 continues to lead. It's our Craftsman 20 to go at Bristol.
William Byron hanging right in there with Majeski side by side.
Oh, Ben overcooked it.
Ben rode sideways trying to hang on, and we get another caution. Stewart Friesen a part of that, so was Carson Hocevar.
Yeah, Ben's been hanging that thing out all night long, and he just overstepped the limits. I don't think there was any hard contact for most of those trucks. You can see some damage on Stewart's right front.
I say all 4 tires appear to be up on Stewart's truck.
Ah, darn it.
He slid that thing sideways, and I thought he's going to lose it, he's going to lose it, and someone almost got him. We'll have to see the replay. Almost got him in the front left to help him correct it, move it forward.
There's the damage on the Rhodes truck.
I think it was Friesen, but we'll see. Heck of a job to try to save it after, as you guys said, he overcooked it in the corner.
Stewart's not happy.
It was just a matter of Ben just losing it.
And bam.
Yeah, it was Friesen.
Corey Heim, Carson Hocevar. You see Jake Garcia doing a nice job avoiding that mess.
Carson gets rolling again. Took Ben and Stewart a while to get going.
That could be terminal for Stewart's chances to have a good finish. I think there's a lot of damage on both front tires on that truck.
And lost all the track position as
Yeah.
well. And we still have 24 trucks on the lead lap right now, with only 18 laps to go.
Yeah, Friesen frustrated, appeared to be not happy with Rhodes. Is that just frustration? Because, I mean, that's just hard racing at that stage.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's frustration. You know, a guy spins out in front of you. You're like, what the heck? Keep your truck pointed in the right direction. Look at Carson just squeezing by.
I love the willingness, though, as you see the drivers involved here. And all of them were inside the top 10. I love the willingness for all of these guys to put it on the edge. And we've seen it, whether they're running the wall or, in this case, running right in the middle of the racetrack. Just throw it sideways and slide it off the corner.
Well, we see it. Phil and I, and you know, Adam, you've done it. We see it pretty much every week.
I guess it's not just a Bristol dirt thing, is it?
I think it's these truckers. Those things come in handy a lot at a truck race.
When you do the inventory check at Bristol, you make sure you bring the hammer.
Let's see if we can try William Byron. Hey, William Byron, Phil Parsons and the guys up in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Phil, I got you.
You've done a great job. That truck's probably as straight as any truck out here. Do you have anything for Logano? He just shoots off on those restarts.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's definitely quick on the bottom. I feel like the bottom's kind of been a struggle for me during this race, but I think the top's good. So if we can get a few laps going, I feel like the top might have something up there.
William, is Michael. Can you tell the viewers how much fun this is? I mean, for us, it's just so entertaining, slipping and sliding and just trying to chase down the leader.
Yeah, it's awesome. it's just controlled chaos. You know, you're never straight with the wheel. You're always doing something and doing something with your pedals. And you know, I got a few adjusters in here with the brakes, so trying to do something different each restart. So yeah, it's a blast. It's something way different.
William, will you learn anything tonight that'll help you tomorrow night?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's helped me all day. So it definitely helped me in my heat race. Had a good heat race, so got to keep it up.
All right, buddy, doing a great job. Finish it off.
Yeah, man, appreciate y'all.
Byron, one of 5 drivers racing tonight that will also compete tomorrow night on Fox.
To the bottom of that list, Matt Craftman got a late call, I think, this week to jump in the 51 truck for Rick Ware.
He said controlled chaos. There are times where I feel like it is out of control. Yes.
Yeah, control wouldn't be all these cautions.
Josh?
Yeah, and it was a strong day for Corey Heim so far, but he wasn't able to avoid that wreck, and he's got a right front down, so he's going to have to come in and get that fixed, guys.
Man, that's a shame, Josh. He's been so fast, right there in the top 10, week in and week out. Does such a great job, and tonight going to have to come to pit road. Like you said, Phil, we're inside 20 to go. Be hard to scramble back toward the front.
Caught a glimpse of the 25 of Matt DiBenedetto right behind Corey. Corey's going to have to come to pit road. That's going to move Matt up to the 9th spot. Remember, Matt stayed out at the end of the first stage, had to pit at the end of the second stage, where 14 trucks stayed out. Matt has made his way back inside the top 10 now. Great run for that Rackley team.
And with that, I mean, you mentioned a position for DiBenedetto. Tanner Gray going to jump back in the top 10 when Heim pits. Jake Garcia running in the top 10. Caden Honeycutt, who was in the top 5 for a good portion of this race early on, now going to be scored. Well, he's 7th right now. We'll do the choose. Who knows where everybody shakes out for the restart, but some underdog drivers that have found their way to the top 10 going to have a real chance as we get a restart just over 10 laps to go.
I know the track changes a lot in dirt, but like William Byron, for example, ran his fastest lap on lap 81. And conversely, Logano ran his fastest lap on lap 3. So the track, like you said at the opening, Phil, it has gone through some transition. And Matty D with those fresher tires, be interesting to see what he can do here late.
It's going to be a minute before we return to the green flag. We'll take our final break and maybe get the final restart when we come back to Bristol. Pretty good at Bristol. He's won here on the concrete in both the Xfinity and Cup Series. First time here on dirt 2 years ago. He gets it done. And tonight, trying to back it up and win in the Craftsman Truck Series. Boy, has he been something in that 66.
And look how different the track looked back then from what it looks like tonight.
Nothing better than a dirt track on a Saturday night under the lights. This thing has been perfect tonight.
What it's all about. Slid 128 laps, 10 to go, and he's going to have to earn it with another restart. You think Ryan Blaney's still up there? He's like, you got this. I'm gonna go get a hot chocolate and head to the motorhome.
He only needs Ryan for a corner or two because he's got such a big jump on the starts.
Ryan's like the head coach at a football game. When the clock's winding down, he just takes the headset off and walks away. That's what he'll do here.
Hand it to the assistant.
Yeah.
Hand it to the assistant.
Yeah. Front row here is going to be Logano, Majeski. Byron lines up behind Logano. Inside of row 2, Grant Enfinger. 9 laps remaining at Bristol.
Nice jump for Majeski there on the bottom. That's the closest we've seen anybody get to Logano by turn 1.
And he clears him.
Little contact maybe, starting
Well,
to see
quite.
a little rain falling. Could have a dramatic run to the checkers here.
Cleared that second row anyway.
Now that was an accomplishment, but away goes Logano.
Here comes Williams fighting back around Grant Enfinger.
Matty D into the wall a little bit. Dane Thompson looking on from behind. There's Jonathan Davenport.
All these drivers racing for a spot inside the top 10.
Haley's 11th down on the bottom. Here comes William.
Nice run up off the corner off the high side. And maybe can bring Crafton with him.
Byron to third.
Jake Garcia hanging in there in the 6th spot in that black number 35 truck.
2 weeks in a row for the rookie, the 18-year-old.
That is so cool. Nice run. Love it when you see these teenagers come here and be ready to go toe-to-toe with a champion like Matt Crafton.
Five to go for Joey Logano. 0.7 of a second, the advantage over second place Ty Majeski.
Oh, another spark off the tailgate of that 22 truck as Caden Honeycutt tries to grab another spot.
How about Rajah Caruth has made his way up into the top 10 in that 24 truck.
He's being a sponge. You talked about what a student he is of the game. He's got Kyle Larson on the roof, and he is showing that he can do it. Lap after lap, just better and better.
Caruth looking for his first top 10 finish of the year.
Good bite off the bottom, too.
He might get both those trucks, Michael.
Three laps to go.
Oh.
Logano stretching his lead at the front as they race from 7th on back. Briscoe, Honeycutt, Gray, DiBenedetto, Caruth. Haley Deegan is there looking for another top 10.
She's just as strong as any of those guys. Trying to find the hole that she needs to pop in, grab some spots.
2 laps remaining for Joey Logano. Just wants to get back to that white flag, make sure he doesn't have to handle another restart. 1 second advantage over his teammate Ty Majeski.
What a dominating performance by Logano tonight.
White flag, half a mile to his 2nd career win in the Craftsman Truck Series. Little lap traffic, no problem. It's a Bristol beatdown. Joey Logano dominates and wins it on the dirt at Thunder Valley.
Nice job.
Majeski, average running position tonight, 2.4. He's going to call Duke Thorson after this race and said, whose idea was it to bring in Logano?
Why are we loaning our trucks out to people we don't know?
William Byron third, Matt Crafton top 10.
Again.
In 11 of our 12 truck races on dirt. Grant Enfinger 8 for 8 in the top 10 driving on the dirt in the Craftsman Truck Series.
Yeah.
And Jake Garcia 5th last week at Texas, 6th tonight. That is so impressive.
Caden Honeycutt gets a top 10. Great job by that young man.
What about the 18-year-old Garcia? We're on the 1.5 mile of Texas. We got a draft. We're gonna run speeds upwards of 190 miles an hour. Oh, by the way, next week we're gonna go to a short track on the dirt. and see what you can do. And he proved he's all around a good young race car driver.
Raja Caruth doesn't get to the top 10, finishes 11th, his best run of the year.
That was a battle for about the 7th spot, wasn't it? Those guys were mixing it up.
Great top 10 for Tanner Gray.
He was strong all night.
Sure was.